Hello everyone and welcome to Hammer of Virtue, a physics sandbox game recently released on Steam. Um, here to play it a little bit and kind of go over. I've been playing it for a couple hours. The developer gave me a key for free, and so I, felt it was a good idea to make a video for it because if somebody gives me a game to play and it's like, hey, try it out, I'm gonna try to put a couple hours into it if I can at least. In this case, I've been trying to get 2 hours. Hopefully by the time of this video is complete, I've hit 2 hours, but I don't know. I've had as much of the game as I can really stand to play at this point.
There are no civilians here.
This game was very heavily marketed on Twitter, which I'm not sure how much attention it actually gained and what kind of traction it got. The videos that I saw were pretty much the ones that did probably a relatively decent job of showing off the destruction and things like that, which is one of the things that I'm gonna kind of go over. Because the destruction is relatively good. It's one of the few things about the game that I can say pretty strongly has been done relatively well. It's pretty simple. You just run around, you hit things with your hammer, you break the environment. The environment can be used to damage the enemies, but it's really difficult to tell whether or not your environmental objects hitting them is actually causing any real degree of damage. So it's just not, it's not a reliable form of combat. It's just entertaining to break stuff. I kind of wish the game was just this. Just make the game all about running through and breaking things. Just don't worry about the combat. Don't make that necessary. Just give us a certain amount of the level that we need to destroy, and call it good. I think you'd have a winner in that aspect. Instead, we get this game that's very heavily featuring the destructible environment and incredibly lackluster combat. Because that's exactly what it is. The combat is very lackluster. Trying to find the enemies is sometimes hard. Sometimes the little red dots just kind of stop showing up. You finish a level, it pops you back out to the main menu, and it's just kind of like, whoa, is the game over? Is it still going? I'm really not sure. So that's a construction site. There's at least 2 other types of levels. One is like a town, and I say town very loosely because it's not really much of a town. It's more of like some random buildings.
You come again. I cannot understand you, or rather,
and we have this guy who he tells the story of the game.
As you are just an empty vessel. That crusade against science.
And we got this guy who's got a shield. This gives you a little bit more active combat because you have an easier idea of kind of understanding where you're supposed to attack and where you're supposed to defend.
Not your sanctimonious ruling class.
Because they'll attack upwards, left, right, down, and if you block properly, you kind of stun them, or not really stun, but knock them off balance. And then you just beat them up and continue. I can top down all the trees and everything. Typically, I can also hit these rocks. And that's kind of this area of the game. Again, it's just, you're mostly just tossed into a bunch of random levels or areas. You fight the enemies until they're dead. And once they're dead, you will go to the next level. And you kind of repeat the process until you've kind of had enough of it. What that amount of time is going to be for everybody is, I don't know. It's going to really depend on you and your tolerance for games and everything and what you want to do. But it does become a little bit difficult and problematic to try to fight when you've got so much stuff on the ground that the enemies just can't seem to fight you. You can't seem to fight them because everything's in the way. and I'm just gonna get beat up by this ape in a suit. I guess they found the guy who he can write the next DC Universe movie. Because, you know, General Grog, he's in it. He's like a gorilla. But anyway, yeah, this is it. This is the game. This is it. Ideally, I suppose, a couple of minutes into the game, you know, like that would be enough for people to see. I'm gonna go over to the city or the town level. And then I'll finish it out on the level that I've got to, the boss level, and you'll have seen kind of what it's like. I've been trying to make videos for this all day, and it's been next to impossible because it's just one of those games that is just incredibly rough to play. It has parts that are cool, like the destruction, but that's kind of just part of the game. The real part of the game, or the main thing you're doing, is combat, and combat is just not good. And because it's not good, it makes the rest of the game kind of feel like a chore to play. Which is like why I'm, you know, kind of here in this situation, really trying to talk well about the game, but man, it's just not something I can do. I'd feel like I was being insincere if I try to really point out or try to make this game as something that you should pick up or that was good. But if you like what you see, you can always pick up the game on Steam. The store page will be in the description. This could be the kind of game that you really like to play. For me, it kind of fell flat. As much as I enjoy breaking things and the physics, the combat, it's just really lackluster. The enemies are kind of all over the place. You've got the bears, you've got the gorillas, you got the shielded enemies. There's also some dinosaurs. Performance-wise, the game for the most part runs relatively well. There are some times where I see some slowdown. Sometimes I think it's because of all the physics going on at any given time, but then sometimes I have no idea what's happening and why it's getting some bad frame rate drops. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, like I'm really trying here, but I've given it a shot. I've tried it for a while, and it's just a big old nope from me. But I'll end it out on showing you the dinosaur level that I have given up on because I can't finish it. And this will be like the end of the video for me. So, in closing, my final words on Hammer Virtue are graphically the game looks fine. Like there's nothing really amazing about what you see. Everything looks like a relatively simple store asset that maybe was bought somewhere. Levels are haphazardly kind of thrown together. Combat is crazy disappointing because there's just not a lot to it. You think that you can get to this boss level and use all the mechanics you've learned with blocking and trying to hit things with the environment, and it just doesn't work very well. It's really difficult. I can't block this boss. I can't seem to hit it with anything, so it's just at this point, considering I haven't had a wonderful time playing the game, I have no reason to continue playing. There's no reason to continue. Especially knowing that I can't finish this boss. If I can't finish this boss, that means I can't finish the game. So yeah, it's just is where I call it good and quit. And yeah, this could be something that other people like, but for me, it just, I've put a lot of effort into trying to like it.
I beg of you, stop fighting and please consider.
I realize I've been talking over that guy in the background, but just, it doesn't matter. I tried Hammer of Virtue. Wasn't for me, didn't really like it. I just don't think it's really the kind of game that that I like. It's just not for me with the whole lack of a real plot and bad combat. But the physics are on point and those are pretty fun. So if you like it, you can wishlist it, you can buy it, do whatever you want. But for me, this is definitely a no. In any case, thanks for watching.